Hi everybody, I'm Amy, and today I'm going to help you if you are a deliberate manifestor and you are very serious about your manifestation and you're doing everything right. I'm going to help you if it's not working and you keep thinking that it's not working and you keep looking for what to do to fix it. One of the things that you might actually want to do is address the problem of thinking that it's not working. So, like I said, my name is Amy. I help people manifest. If you like my channel, you can subscribe, you can like the video, you can share the video, you can comment. Also, I have Instagram, same name over there, illuminatingjoy. That's where I post things that I manifest. So let's jump right into this. I don't know if you've seen my 2-circle video, but if you haven't, I'm gonna link it up above and down below. It's how to make sure you're focusing, to double check that you're focusing on the thing that you want instead of the problem. You've heard this before in all sorts of different arenas of life, I'm sure. Don't focus on the problem, focus on the solution. In manifesting, don't focus on what you don't want, focus on what you do want. These are the exact same thing. Everything in manifesting, whether you call it the law of attraction or you think of it as everyone as you pushed out, it just doesn't matter. Everything comes down to the same one massive skill. Can you dare to turn your attention away from the problem and put it on the solution, away from your current reality, in my step 1, and most people's step 1, of focusing on what you want as though you have it? Can you dare to do it while the problem, the current reality, the thing you don't want, is still active? Can you do it in your head, in the privacy of your own thoughts and mind? That's basically all manifesting is. So the biggest skill is knowing how to do it and actually doing it. Okay, so the solution to a lot of intermediate and advanced manifestors, even if you're a beginner, this might really help you, is to understand that if you have had manifesting success before and you know this works and you know you're doing everything right and you're like, I swear, up and down, left and right, I am doing everything right. I know it. Why is it not working? So instead of saying it's like, where is it? Or when's it going to happen? These are all different implications that go into your mind, right? So you're like, I know it works. Like, I know it works. Why is it not working this time? Why is it not working? You may accidentally, without realizing it, have it's not working as a mantra in your head, which will counteract all the work you've done. It doesn't stop it. I don't want you to think it stops it. It's just like when you're manifesting something, you're moving into the consciousness of the person who has it. You are thinking from it. You are feeling from it. You are imagining from having it. And the person who has it isn't thinking it's not working. So that's what I mean by it's like counteracting it. It's like you're not fully aligned completely yet, because that person who is you, that already exists, whether you believe it or not, that perspective of you already exists. You don't have to believe it, by the way, but for those of you who do, that's what I'm reiterating here. It already exists, and that person is not thinking it's not working. In fact, I want you to stop just a moment, and I want you to think, if you had what you want and you were deliberately manifesting it and it started to unfold, wouldn't you think, it's working? Oh, it's working. Oh, it's working. It's working. It's working. Eee! So like manifestors think this. People in the natural world who don't know about deliberate manifesting, they don't have this. This is kind of a manifestor's trap, especially people who have many successes under their belt. So here is what it looks like. Here's the circles. I drew it out for you this time in advance. The problem, which is also the don't want, you can use either term here, is it's not working, frowny face. The solution is it's working. This is what you want. This would be living in the end. This would be living in the end of it not working, living in the end of it working. Living in the end is an avogadro term. It is focusing on the problem, focusing on the solution, focusing on current reality that isn't what you want, focusing on reality that is what you want. These are all the exact same things, different terms, different coaches, different teachers use different ways of describing it. Basically, you want to get really good at noticing what you are repeating in your head, because your mental diet, your thoughts, your inner conversations. So Neville Goddard calls it mental diet, inner conversations. The rest of the world often calls it your self-talk, your thoughts in your head. It's all the same thing. Those thoughts in your head, if you are constantly repeating and affirming and focusing on what you want, and you're like feeling really good about it, and then at the same time saying, but it's not working, it's not working. What am I doing wrong? Like, what am I doing wrong is it's not working. So you can also turn it around to, I'm doing it right. It's working and I'm doing it right. So what you want to do, the solution is, first of all, live in the reality of the person who has it, in your head, in your mind. You don't have to tell anybody what you're doing. It's all in the privacy of your own thoughts. And it's working. So if you have been using this completely accidentally and not even noticing it as a little tiny mantra in the back of your head, it's not working. I want you to take the next several days and deliberately dare on purpose to think it's working even though you have no evidence of it yet, because you want to replace those thoughts. So if you're doing intentions, then you're doing your intentions plus it's working. If you are doing visualization and you're meditating and you're focusing on what you want, plus it's working, then you come out of that and you think it's working, it's working, it's working, it's working. Of course it's working. Of course it's working. It always works. It works. It works. Also, by the way, it works doesn't mean it's working. So I have literally thought, this works. Why is it not working? So say it's working. It works and it's working, or it's working. Because sometimes advanced manifestors who have a lot of experience, like, I know it works. Why is it not working? So you want to still catch the it's not working thing, or why is it not working thing. So if you are visualizing, you come out of it, and then your mental diet is just a little mantra very quietly in the back of your head. Oh, it's working. It's working. It's working. And I say dare to do it because you have to be willing to think it. You don't have to make a billboard and shout it out and look like an idiot in front of your friends by announcing it like it's working when there's no evidence. You don't have to do that. It's all in the privacy and sanctuary of your inner thoughts and your mind, which nobody knows what's going on in there. Nobody. So it's just for you. And if you do feeling activities, so there's different ways to focus, right? So if you're doing feeling, I feel my end result. That's really great too. You can come out of that and do the same thing. It's working. It doesn't matter what you're doing to focus and align and match your desired end result, to live in the end, to live from the end, to become in alignment with your end result. These are all the same terms. They describe the same thing. It doesn't matter what you're doing. Scripting, visualizing, feeling, thinking. These are all different tools. You can use them in combination. You can use them separately. If you come out of it and you then repeat, it's not working. Why is it not working? It's not working. Then you want to replace that, because again, in the end result, that version of you is not thinking that. That version of you is literally thinking, oh my God, it's working. It's working. It's working. So you can just say it, or you can kind of get like excited about it. Play with it. There's no right or wrong, as long as you're affirming, as long as you're saying, as long as you're thinking to yourself, saying to yourself in your head, it's working, right? So Neville Goddard would say, you know, this is an assumption. I'm making the assumption that it's working. Assumptions are done without evidence. So you're choosing to do this without evidence. And I keep saying this because I know a lot of people have a hard time thinking about having what they want because they don't feel like they have the right to think about it. Yeah, but it's not true. Yeah, that is literally what manifesting is for. Manifesting is to make something that is currently not true in your experience true. Manifesting is making the invisible, the state of being, the consciousness that has what you want, visible in your experience. That's all it is. So you want to be daring. You want to be courageous. You want to be confident enough to just start saying it in your own head, right? There are so many different terms that people use for this. It doesn't matter which one it is. Again, I think I learned manifesting way before I ever heard of Neville Goddard. So using the assumption term is not like supernatural to me. Supernatural. I mean, it's not very natural to me, but it is accurate. So when I talk about it, to me, it's just repeating. Repetition is what sinks it into your subconscious. Repetition, if you just go on the internet and search how to impress your subconscious, how to change your subconscious, repetition is one of the main ways. That's why it works. Another way is how to impress it with a feeling. That's why that works. So there's a couple different ways. They all work. Play around with them. See which ones you like. But again, if you are doing everything right, and even if you're not doing everything right, you can still say this anyway. Say this one, sorry. So start at the beginning. If you are just now starting your manifestation and you're not doing anything right at all yet, you haven't even figured out what to focus on, include this. It's working. But for those of you who are doing everything right, you know this works. It works. Why isn't it working? It works. Why isn't it happening? Ah! And you keep affirming, it's not working. What am I doing? Like, what am I doing? What do I need to do? It's working. It's working. It's working. It's working. It's working. Now, I know a lot of you are going to be like, how often do I repeat this? How often did you repeat it's not working? So you're watering it down. Do not think you need to completely eliminate it's not working. I think of it as watering it down. So you want to increase the number of times you think it's working and decrease the number of times you think it's not working. At some point, the balance will tip. And again, if you've been thinking it's not working for a year, it's not going to take you a year to switch it. It's more like how often you're saying it in a particular day. So if you're affirming it's not working 3 times a day and you're like hardly focused on your manifestation at all, it might take a minimal amount of, oh, it's working, just every time you think about it, right? But if you've been sitting around nonstop being like, why isn't it working? It's not working. It's not working. And like watching videos and trying to figure out what you're doing and like writing everything out to try and figure out what you're doing, maybe you want to hit a little heavier with it's working. It's working. It's working. Just repeat it. Repeating is a very honorable, believable way to get your subconscious on board, because your subconscious is your habit mind. So you want to get in the habit. However many times it takes for you to get in the habit to naturally think it's working is how many times you should do it. There, that says it pretty nicely. So if it takes you 3 times to do it and it switches in your subconscious, fantastic. If it takes you 3,000 times, then do that. Just do it, because ultimately, again, manifesting is about aligning with the result. But in the truth of it, it's aligning with the consciousness of you that has the result. How do you do that? You focus on thinking from it, thinking in it. I have it. I have it. That's my step 1. And that is what mental diet is. That is what affirmations are. That is what assumptions are. That is what visualization is. That is what scripting is. That is what doing the feeling work is. All of that. All of that is that. That's all the different ways you can do it, plus more. And the goal is to say it to yourself until it becomes a natural habit, that you'll notice it's a natural habit because you'll start thinking it's working. And you're like, oh, finally, I just naturally thought it was working. That's great. And again, I say this again because so many people, advanced people don't need this piece, but so many people who haven't had their first medium to big size manifestations yet, like really roll in, they're kind of intimidated or timid and thinking it's working when it's not. Just try it. Just try it. It's not going to hurt anything. If you don't tell anybody what you're doing, nobody's going to know. So it's not going to hurt anything. You're not going to be embarrassed. At the worst thing is you're going to feel a little silly, but you'll get over the silliness really fast. Tell me, I will tell you, because your subconscious will start to believe it. It believes everything you tell it. So you'll get over the silliness really fast. So if you're feeling like, I can't say that, it's not true, that's not the truth, that's not what's happening, I challenge you to try it for 4 or 5 days and see if you can get past that feeling. And also just, see how it works, experiment with it. So anyway, I hope this helps you guys. Happy manifesting. Remember, it's not working, frowny face becomes, it's working. It's working. Of course it's working, because you would think that if you're deliberately manifesting something and it starts to happen and it's happening, you would actually think it's working. You most certainly would not think it's not working. And that's why it's a solution. Happy manifesting, you guys. Have a wonderful day.